So I have just gone through and made a whole bunch of these. Every single one is different. The back is different. The front is a little different. What exactly it says on it is different. We do the covers different for each of them. Or I should really say, I do the covers different for each of them. Some of them are a little bit more detailed. I'm experimenting. I'm figuring out how I like talking about the game. I'm giving people options should they be at an event and want to pick one up. You can order these from composedreamgames.com, and shortly they'll be up on our new sister UK site, composedreamgames.co.uk. There should be links from the .com to both soon. So we've got a whole bunch of these ready. Now, what is it? Well, it's no prep. It's GM full. It's a one-shot. It's 3 to 6 players. You need a deck of cards for the Dark God. You need a deck of cards for the heroes. You need some drawing and writing tools. And you need some index cards. Those index cards are chapter cards. So you illustrate your journey. You forge a world to discover if you can slay the Dark God. You're drawing against this escalating threat, those deck of cards. The Dark God's deck of cards gets difficult, more difficult, and you're trying to get the best cards to the chosen one. Some of the companion characters will indeed fall. You may very well fail in your mission to slay the Dark God. You are creating the world as you go. There's sort of a prophecy or oracle phase. This is really kind of an idea engine. There's prompts. People are asking questions of the other players to create the world, to create parts of the prophecy as they play. There is an initial prophecy that informs a lot. And I just dropped a copy. This is for blotting, because I sometimes get ink on my fingers, like that. It's not going to focus. This is the pen I used. This is some ink. Yes. This is, in fact, it doesn't have to be dipped, but I have been dipping it. Oh, and I just made a huge mess. And we cannot see. Now I need to be careful about handling anything. So, this is a one-shot GM-less or GM-full game. You can get it in print like this. You can get one of these from us. You can pick it up in PDF. There'll be some revisions to this work at some point. But the game is extremely playable as is. I'd love for folks to pick some up. I'd love to get feedback from anybody who plays it and gives it a go. Love to know what we can do better. Just trying to get that ink off of my finger. I'll take a quick peek through the rulebook here. Now that I think I've got ink all over it. Oh, there's ink there too. Okay, I'm gonna move over. A little bit. So this is the inside. Printed this up in January. Did a few revisions. What we're calling the Augury Edition, because we did do a slightly earlier version. So you come up with some details for the chosen one. You lay out some index cards, and you're going to draw on these index cards. You set up your prophecy, which is about the challenge that you need to overcome. The chosen one at the end needs to have these exact cards. And then you're going to do another row of 3 chapters before the final confrontation with the Dark God. You're asking questions of each other and coming up with how that Dark God is. So you have kind of an augury phase where you're establishing things, an adventure phase where it's more sort of traditional. You are the characters, the companions, and the chosen one. One player is the chosen one. And the oracle in these phases is kind of acting as sort of a GM setting the scene, asking the questions. The Dark God's deck gets harder, and this goes over here, how the Dark God's deck gets harder. Aces are sort of special. They act as a kind of trump. You can do something with kings. This makes it a lot more difficult. This is sort of the prophecy you set up. And for book 2, there's opposition that is used in that same kind of row. These are a bunch of the companion characters you can use, kind of classic ideas. You can draw cards randomly to pull them. You restate the prophecy. There's a bit of, and this is the full kind of layout. There's kind of a echoing or a repeating or to talking about the prophecy. This is sort of the handout and the question prompts that you'd be asking in each of those chapters. There's an intermission and something happens in that intermission. If you fail a challenge, now the players are using their own playing cards to overcome challenges. If you fail a challenge, you generate a setback, which means you get to learn something new about the world because you get to illustrate something new about the world and face a different challenge. There's the climax and whether the Dark God is indeed defeated or not. And if he's not, what happens? And there's mixed results is quite common. And you have to decide how that mixed result comes about. And then there's this long example in here that kind of runs through how it could go. And at the very, very end, we have a little table where you can make your own prophecy in opposition and play a slightly different kind of game. So, that's a little bit about God Killer Prophecy. And these are some of the fronts and backs. I make them mostly all different. All right, I'm super excited. I loved running this game. I'm super excited about getting it out there. I hope you pick it up. Good gaming.